Good morning. This is your Wednesday report. We are live on the scene to behold the end of the world. Yeah, wouldn't that be nice? What day is it? Oh, it's just the end of the world. Okay, I'll go back to bed. There's been a lot of commotion this morning. I just started having my little morning smoke out here on Wednesday. It's it's our content day. And without fail, Monrovia PD and FD decided to, collaborate. There's things going on down the street I can't see because of, I'm in a garage and my neighbor's house is in the way, but it sounds like it's kind of close by, so maybe after the video I'll saunter out there and see if I can investigate and be that nosy neighbor. Anyway, I waited to just the right time when things started to calm down. But yeah, it's been a barky dog, trash collecting, siren sounding morning. And on top of that, it's going to be a hot day. Enjoying some very nice, cool, mild fall-like weather last weekend. It was gorgeous. It rained. We actually had a thunderstorm with lightning and all that jazz. It was wonderful. I was like, ooh, I'm feeling the spirit of the holiday season, and I am really enjoying it. Now, this week, yesterday was 87, and now today is going to be 90-something. So I'm like, okay, I see what you're doing. Stop it. Like the weather's going to listen to me. It's not. Anyway, happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome back. Pardon the melodramatics. But anyways, we're burning a recent acquisition, the Rayo 65. Ain't that a thing of beauty? Ain't that pretty? With its old, aged, distressed coat of green paint. Probably applied sometime in the 19-teens or 20s. Probably the 20s. But it probably was used on a road construction type of deal because it's painted dark green when a lot of utility lanterns, a hard time with certain words. You probably noticed this. Utility. How's it going? Utility lanterns. Yeah, a lot of them were painted dark green, yellow, red, whatever. I know LA County painted a lot of lanterns dark green, but this lantern was not in LA County. It's not marked LA County. And it was on eBay. I missed my opportunity. It was out of state, and someone else bought it, and then they put it up for sale recently on the Tubular Lantern group on Facebook. And I bought it from the owner that bought it off of eBay. So in a roundabout way, it came to me, which I was already contemplating buying it on eBay, but it all worked out. I have it now. And it's a great burner. I love this thing. It's a really nice lantern. And when I saw it on eBay, it did come with a ruby flashed globe, or ruby globe in general. And that I had a spare, so I put it in here. As you remember in my last video, the globe that it came with was a little short, so it wasn't sitting in there properly. But I have other things that will fit in, and it's not a big deal. But anyhow, this is a great lantern. I'm enjoying it. And I have a little Peter Stokkebye Deluxe Navy Flake in the old citation. But anyhow, this is a great little lantern. And it's one I'm keeping. I've had a number of Rayo 65s come in and out of the garage and the collection, and this one's staying. Yeah, I like it. I think this is the three's a charm, right? So yeah, it's a good one. Anyhow, how's everyone doing? It's a lovely day. It's going to be warm, but it's going to be lovely. It's very clear. Makes it all right because I have to drive the Dodge and run a few errands. That's right. So with that being said, we're going to jump into our content. Now, I have something to share that I have not shared yet. I'm going to be working on it today. That's right. I'm very excited about this. So let's get Mr. Rayo hanging out by Mr. 17 Rayo there. Little Rayo corner. Boy, those ashes, I just moved my pipe a little bit and my ashes jumped right out. It's always good to pitch some of the top layer out so that doesn't happen. Anyway, operating on 4 cylinders today. The dog got in and out of the bed all morning and woke me up. I couldn't really get the full measure sleep that I usually like to get, so I'm kind of running on empty, but we're doing it. Anyway, shout out to friend and fellow lantern collector Mark Stowers. Now, we've done some lantern trading, buying here and there. He lives up in Northern California, and I'm down here in Southern California, so we're more or less neighbors in the grand scope of lantern collectors. Most of the big time collectors are out of state. Yeah. That's right. So there's only a few collectors local that I know, and some of them are, we're all kind of spread out. But anyhow, I keep in touch with some of them, and I visit a few, and so that's cool. I like building friendships with other lantern collectors. But Mark is a cool guy. I keep trying to tempt him down here with barbecue and some nice things that we both enjoy. He just, with gas prices as they are, it's not really feasible right now. It's a long drive and it's a lot of money. So he could probably buy several bottles of his favorite bourbon and several nice steaks for the price it would take to drive down here. Anyways, someday he will. He told me this. He's going to take me up on my offer. But anyhow, he showed me something last week and I had to have it. And hold on. I need to turn my phone off. Oh. Scam likely. Yeah, not today. What's Louisiana calling me for? Yeah, it's probably nothing good. If it's important, they'll leave a message. Anyway. What was I saying? Oh yes, Mark Stowers showed me something and I had to have it. And it's something I've been wanting for some time. I like it. And I'm going to fix it up and you're going to see it. So, here we go. Yes, it's another big No.2 Cold Blast. Yay! Hooray! I said I wasn't going to buy any more of these, but this is the exception. I have exceptions, of course. We collectors have exceptions, but this is not just any No.2 Cold Blast. This is an Embury made Cold Blast, which I've had several of. I have one in particular that's on my bench over here out of frame, which is my Norlay Diamond for Shapely Norvell Shapely hardware. Anyways, this thing is awesome. It is special in the fact that it has the scroll work tooling on the crown, the chimney, and on the air tubes. See that? Pretty fancy. And you guessed it, Marswells. Cool, huh? Don't you just love that with an arrow through it? Yeah. I think, Marswells is a combination of two names. Marshall Wells Hardware Company. And where are they out of? Oh, they were out of Minnesota. St. Paul, Minnesota, I think. Anyways, so yeah, I do like jobbers. I like jobber lanterns. They're not that easy to find, but they are popular with collectors because they're typically fancier than your production lanterns from the company that they were made. So this would be more or less a Embury No.2 Cold Blast. And most Embury lanterns of this period, which would be 1910s, 1915, 13, 15, right around there, where they're beautiful lanterns. They're handsome lanterns, but their main production lanterns didn't have this, to my understanding, or this. They saved this fancy detail for, to my understanding, for their jobber lanterns. Jobber meaning that they were sold to a hardware company, rebranded with that company's branding and house name. So they wanted things to be a little fancier than the run-of-the-mill or the main production stuff that they would sell from Dietz, Embury, Burger, whatever. Okay, so they wanted their house name lanterns to be different and enough to be purchased over the other stuff that they sell. So you could go to most hardware stores and buy a lantern made by Dietz with Dietz branding, or Embury, or Defiance, or whatever. Okay, or you could buy one with the house name, which they touted as the better option because, well, look at the design, look at the fancy details. So they ordered these lanterns with all the bells and whistles to be definitely more appealing and to look like a high quality thing and with the brand name of their store. So they wanted their lanterns to represent their company's name very well. Okay, so they made these with copper founts or brass founts with matching crowns. Okay, they made all varieties of different cold blasts and hot blasts. So it was, it was kind of cool. It was really neat how they really stepped it up. And this was definitely very obvious. This was something they did in the 1910s. Much after that, into the, after World War I or so, it didn't happen as much to my understanding. I haven't seen many jobbers that were overly fancy. So this was a very small window of time where they did this kind of detail, so they're not common. You had Pagoma, you had Marswells, you had Norley Diamond, you had a lot of different retailers, hardware store retailers that would order from Embury or Defiance and have these wonderful lanterns made with all this great detail. And it was only maybe a 10-year period, maybe less. So with that being said, they're not easy to find. They're uncommon, but they are desirable. You had cam locks and all that stuff. So a lot of the guys that collect these tubulars, they want this stuff. And it almost looks like it's galvanized steel, right? Well, I don't think so. I think it's not galvanized. I think it's remnants of tin, because this would have been an old tin lantern. This would have been just straight up tin. I've seen others that had a copper fount. Those are, of course, desirable. People love copper founts. I happen to like copper founts more so than brass. Brass is beautiful. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to run down brass because it is nice. However, for my benefit, I love the warm tones of copper. I love that peach color copper. Oh, this is amazing. And also it doesn't split as much as brass is tended to. It tends to split over many years, and it gets brittle, and it's not always the ideal stuff to use when you burn it and all that, so for obvious reasons. So copper's my favorite. But anyways, this is an old tin version, which is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing, and it's in really good shape. So this is going to really turn out to be a great lantern. Here's the problem. Gray paint. It's also missing the little pull tab, the little cupcake pull tab Embury usually puts on top of these things. But that's not a hard thing. I can order one of those from one of the guys, and that's not a big deal. So there's gray paint on top of the crown and gray paint on the chimney. So I just have to really take that off. There's a few spots throughout the rest of the frame that has some remnants of gray paint, which I'm going to take off. But I'm going to take all that off, and we're going to do some stripping on just on those areas. But also, this is recommended to me. Well, this is how I'm going to take it off. I was using Jasco. I have a little bit of Jasco left, but it's expensive. It's gotten even more expensive since everything has gone up in price, of course, as it will. This is a little hack that someone shared with me. Shout out to Matt Cumberledge in Pennsylvania. He's quite the collector, and I chat with him often. Good collector, good guy, runs a museum out there, and if I could remember the name of the museum. But I will give props and shout outs to the museum in my future video, which I will talk about that and, you know, promote his museum. Doesn't need much because they're on the map. They're great. They even have a steam engine locomotive. Man, what is going on? More? You know, are they pulling people over that are running that stop sign? Because if they are, I'm going to applaud them right now because that's amazing. I would love that because people run stop signs here. You've heard of the California roll? Well, that's a real thing, and sometimes they just don't even slow down. California. Well, anyways, this is the hack. This is the hack that he told me that's good to strip paint off. Easy off. Easy off oven cleaner. This stuff will take paint off. And you know how much this can cost me? It was around $5. $5. You know how much a can, close to this size, maybe a little larger, of Jasco spray stripper costs? $15. $15. Yeah. No thanks. We're good on crazy. I usually buy the can, you know, that you know, the non-aerosol spray. I don't need that. I've used it before. It works fine. But I usually apply it with a brush and do the old-fashioned thing, you know, and set it out on newspaper and let it do its thing. And, you know, it's quite messy. It's not pretty. But anyways, this is going to be my quick and cheap and dirty route to get just those two details stripped. Why they didn't get stripped, I don't know. Anyways, I'm happy to have this. Is a great lantern. But anyways, that's all I have to do. And also, of course, get the part that's missing on top, but everything else is complete. The inside of the fountain's great. There's not much to do to this lantern to get it to where I want it to be. So we will do that today. That's my goal. I'm going to get this all cleaned up and fixed up, and we're gonna light it. So, yeah. Anyways, I will give you guys an update on that one when I get the paint strip. But here's the other thing. So this is good to try out for stripping paint, all right? Of course, wear gloves, wear the proper protective gear. Treat it like stripper. There's something else I'm going to show you. So some of the guys use cleanse oil or other oils popular with cleaning firearms, okay? They will put it over the metal and it will darken the metal. So it will give it a kind of a dark, aged look about it. And I like that. I think that's really cool. Now, I was chatting with another collector, Thomas, and he's a cool guy too. We chat often, and we joke all the time, and he's a pretty stand-up guy. He's got a really nice collection that's growing so fast. I mean, some of these recent collectors, they really get in there and they find some cool stuff, and their collection, whew, man, it's just wildfire. But anyways, he's got great stuff, and we chat ever so often on Facebook. We go back and forth all the time. But he said that this stuff works for the same. It works the same, and it does the same thing, which is 3-in-1 garage door lubricant. And he says just to spray it over the entire lantern, let it sit for 20-30 minutes, and it will darken it up. So this lighter metal finish is nice. I don't hate it, but I think it could look better a little darker, and it'll make the brass stand out a little better. And it has the original cap and a nice brass cone. So yeah, we're gonna give it a shot and see what happens. So we're gonna do this. Now, you can of course get this locally, or you can get it on Amazon in bulk if you want. But you can get these, just order these on Amazon and it'll be shipped right to you. Paid link in the description. Also, another paid link in description I want to promote. Where's it? Ah! Darn it. Oh. Well, I don't have the tube anymore, but I have the box. This is so ghetto. So janky. Okay, Seal All. For sealing your founts, you want to use Seal All or POR 15. POR 15. 5. And that's available on Amazon, and it's also very affordable on Amazon. You will pay probably your best price there. You can buy it in bulk, larger cans. The small can is about $19.95, I believe. So, that's what I paid when I bought my can of Pour 15. So, those links are in the description. So, with that being said, all right, we're going to start getting into it. We're going to get into this lantern, and it's going to be awesome, and I will make a follow-up video, hopefully this weekend. My in-laws are going to be in town on Friday, so it's going to be kind of hard to get out here and do any content. But if I have time to make another video later today, and this is done, then we'll do 2 videos today. Can you imagine that? A bonus feature? Pfft, come on. Do I love you guys? Yeah. Thanks again for my newest subscribers. I'm seeing that I'm getting a subscriber at least every other day. We're growing, so thank you. Yay us. Appreciate it, and I appreciate all the comments and the questions, and I try to engage with you guys as much as I can. If I don't get back to you guys or comment on your comments right away, just know that I'm going to get around to it, because I'm a busy guy. So with that being said, keep on keeping on, and I will share the results of this latest project coming up. All right, take care, guys. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.